July 9th, 2023, I decided to record my first episode of Uploaded and Unfiltered, and I've been doing it ever since, every week, nonstop since then. It is now July 21st, 2026. It has been over 3 years that I've been doing this podcast, and I gotta say, I am nothing but excited, but this is what I expected. This is what I intended, to start something, keep it consistent, and keep it going until etc. I don't know when we're going to stop doing this, but I just wanted to take this time to praise myself, to give myself flowers for being able to have an idea, bring it to fruition, and maintain that idea over the course of 3 years. Now, it's been all over the place, to be honest. I've had guests. I have not had guests. I kind of did a video podcast. Every week, a video gets recorded. It doesn't ever go up. If you have an idea that you want to bring to the real world, you can just do that shit. You don't need permission. You don't need a plan. You could just declare, hey, today I want to do X, Y, and Z, or by the end of this year, I want to do this. And then you go after it. There were no real obstacles for me to continue to do this every week. I can bust out a podcast on my phone in 10 minutes and get it uploaded and ready before the next week starts. I've made sure that the process of creating the podcast was easy. I made sure the process of editing the podcast was simple and straightforward. I didn't do anything too crazy as far as sound production and music and all that fun stuff. I wanted to be something simple that I had no hesitation to do every week. And that's what I created with Uploaded and Unfiltered. Now, I know I've said this like at least 10 times in the past, but I've already been reaching out to potential guests, some people that have been on before, some people who have never been on. But I get inspired to create content by seeing other people become great, by seeing other people chase after their dreams and chase after their aspirations. And that shit is encouraging. And that's what ultimately I want this podcast to be. Now, it's going to morph into just making sure that Black people in general have a great mental health, have a great outlook on life, have great tools to help them get through times where things are a little shaky or rocky. So that's what this podcast is. It's a platform for me to get to talk about the things that I think about and share that knowledge with the world. Now, before I go, because I'm not staying on this one long, this is actually Tuesday. This thing is supposed to be up, but we're still going to get it out. Last night, me and my wife was hanging out. That's all I'm going to say. One thing I've been thinking about lately is our hesitation to talk about things that we are knowledgeable about or that we know, because we are afraid of how it's going to be interpreted. One realization that I had that I am actively seeking out is everywhere we post videos, unless we turn it off, there's a comment section. And for years, we've been taught to be afraid of the comment section, but I intend for my comment section to be a place where discourse happens. If I say something in the video that you don't understand, boom, right in the comment section, ask for a clarification and I'll make another video and clarify it. If you agree with what I'm saying, drop a comment. Let me know. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, drop an informed comment telling me why you don't agree with what I'm saying. I think I'm over the feeling of needing to know everything that I'm going to talk about before I talk about it. It not only hinders content creation, but it hinders creativity. It hinders being consistent, because if you're in your head all the time about the things that you're saying and you wanting to make sure that they're perfect so nobody can argue with you or nobody can question your thoughts, then you're missing out on a bunch of shit. You're missing out on opportunities to get in front of people. You're missing out on opportunities to learn how to craft your words into those that are more meaningful and beneficial to the people that you're trying to reach. And you miss out on conversations. There are conversations that aren't being had because you decided that you wanted to be perfect with your execution. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and place for that. For me, I like to do things dirty. I like to do things raw and uncut, and I like to polish it up after the fact. do things scary, do things dirty, do things unprepared without the fear of if you mess up, it's over. I have, and I continue to train my mind to know that failures, to know that things that aren't quite exactly what I want are lessons for me and tools for me to utilize, to execute, to mold, to manipulate what I want to the perfect form. So yeah, I might fail at doing a few things here and there, but failure is not a negative thing to me. Failure is progress. Failure is me getting to that next goal, because there's nothing that's going to stop me from doing what I want in life, what I want to achieve in life. The podcast is a great example of that. I am excited to see where my life and where my career goes just over the next 6 months. So with that, if there is a dream that you've had that you've been sitting on, if there's a piece of content that you want to create, but you were hesitant to do so because you didn't know exactly the path to take, if there was someone you wanted to talk to collab with, to network with, but you stopped yourself because you didn't want to come off as cringe, shut that shit down. Remember, our reality is entirely based on what we think and what we feel about our situations and any event that pops up in our life. Entirely. I believe I'm a great person to be around. I'm entertaining, and I bring a nice energy level to any room that I'm in. Anybody who says otherwise is lying to themselves. It doesn't affect me at all. Like, you can tell me I'm the worst streamer that you've ever seen, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe you've seen some amazing streamers, or maybe I'm just not the cup of tea that you need to be drinking out of. Like, all of that is on you. All of those words that came out of your mouth are your thoughts, and they affect you. They don't affect me at all. And I love that shit. I'm glad that I'm here in this space, in this mindset, that I know that my brain and I know that my thoughts are what create my reality. I know that if I put my mind to something, whatever it is, I'm going to achieve it. The only way that I don't achieve my goals is if I stop. If you stop, then yeah, well, you can't hit your goals. But even then, there is a way. Let's say I stop streaming for 2 years and somebody comes across my vlogs or someone across my YouTube channel and they're like, oh man, this dude's tight. Let's see if he's doing anything. And he's not. They can be like, yo, we want to cut you a check for $1 million to start creating content again. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. That shit could happen. So even when I quit, I win, but I don't plan on quitting. This shit's too fun. I'm getting too much great joy out of doing this, out of creating content, out of making people think outside the box. And I don't see any signs of stopping anytime soon. So if you have not shared the podcast with another content creator or another creator in general, fuck are you waiting for? Share the podcast with them. Uploaded and Unfiltered. I am the podcast where we talk about the mindset side of creating content, because it's huge. I think the better your mindset is, the better your creativity is, the easier time you're going to have creating the content that you want and achieving the goals that you desire. So other than that, I appreciate you all for listening. 3 years, no signs of stopping. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.